Do you know why Brother Alois has decided to take this step of change in the community?
No, Brother Alois told the brothers about his decision already almost 2 years ago, that he would step back. And it wasn't for any particular reason. It was just that he felt it was time to ask somebody else to take on the role as prior of the community. At a time when many things are changing in the world and in the church, he felt it was good that somebody else led our community. But he's very well, there's no big problems. He will spend the time away from the community, simply so that he has space as well to continue his journey. And I think my feeling to him, it's first of all a feeling of great thankfulness for all that he's done, because he became prior of the community immediately after the very dramatic death of Brother Roger. And then he's led us through, some difficult times as well. The fact of recognizing that there were brothers who had abused young people who had been here. It was very difficult to accept that. But these are things that we have to face, and to listen to the victims, to learn from them how to lessen the risks of such things happening, and to walk on this path of continually learning, continually being aware of the questions. And Brother Alois led us very, very well on that path. And then, this whole continuity in the youth meetings and in the gatherings elsewhere, that's something he's done very, very well. So I feel an immense gratitude towards him.
You mentioned abuses. Does the community still struggle with this issue?
Yeah, the question of abuse, it's a question which is always present in our mind because people have suffered, and you can't simply forget that. It's a continual learning process. Now, what we do for the volunteers who come here in their second week, there is a training session, which raises their awareness to the question of relationships and authority. Because with questions of abuse, it's often that's at the beginning. It's an abuse of power. That someone in a position of authority, they use that authority to get what they want from somebody, especially when that person is vulnerable, or in a lower position than them. And it's very important that right from the beginning of somebody's journey as a volunteer here in Taizé, that question is presented. Most of our brothers, they started life as volunteers in Taizé. And so right from the beginning, this theme is now present. And I think an increased vigilance on our part, that's very important. But it's also accepting that we're continually learning. That this question, it's not something we can say, that's it, we finished, it's over. That's when the problems begin. We have to accept to be continually learning and to listen to the voice of the victims. And I think that was something very, very important for us. We invited people who had not suffered directly from Taizé, they'd been in other situations, but to listen to their experiences helps us understand what people go through when they've been abused. And that means it's not something theoretical, and it's not something that we just heard from newspaper reports, but there's been an actual contact with them, and that's very important.
Should such cases be reported to official, governmental institutions.
Oh yes. No, that's very important, and yeah, we have now an independent group. It's not the brothers directly who deal with reports of abuse, yeah, but we have an independent group which receives the emails and all the reports. And there are people who speak about abuse here that it hasn't been because of Brothers of Taizé, but of other situations, in their life. And there we try to support them as best we can. But that's clear, there's the law of the country, which has to be accepted. And in the French church, they set up an independent body, to inquire about the question of abuse. And there is a commission which acts as a kind of mediation between victims and the diocese or the communities where there's been a question of abuse. And that's something very good because, again, it helps to have somebody independent who can deal with these situations.
tvp.info. Wiesz więcej.